Welcome back to our political science class, session number 4 today. So, in the morning session, we started a new chapter, rights in the Indian Constitution, and we just started discussion on fundamental rights, discussed about the 6 fundamental rights and its importance. Okay, now we are operating one by one fundamental rights, one by one. Okay, in which equality completed, we almost finished rights. Okay, so continuing from your textbook, open that, and we are here. A right of life and personal liberty. A right of life and personal liberty. So we know that both these two terms are important: equality and liberty. Liberty, both are important. Without one, it is difficult to practice the another one or other one. Okay, clear. So we completed up to here. The foremost right among rights of freedom is the right to life and personal liberty. No citizen can be denied his or her life except by procedure as laid down under the law. We discussed that. Okay, similarly, no one can be denied his or her personal liberty. Okay, no one has the right to deny the right of the other person. That means no one can be arrested without being told the grounds for such an arrest. Okay, the police department who wanted to arrest an individual want to inform the person on what ground or what is the reason behind that arrest. If arrested, the person has the right to defend himself by a lawyer of his choice. So the person he or she was arrested by the police have the right to defend himself or herself by using a lawyer, an advocate of his or her own choice. Also, it is mandatory, it is too important, unavoidable for the police to take the person to the nearest magistrate, okay, the nearest magistrate court within 24 hours. Clear? Police department don't have the right to keep any person under their custody more than 24 hours. Okay. Anyway, before that they wanted to take the person in front of the magistrate. The magistrate, who is not part of the police, will decide whether the arrest is justified or not. So magistrate is a part of, we know that it is a judiciary, right or not the part of police, executive. Okay. So he will decide whether the person is committed a crime or not. Can we justify it or not? Okay, so this right is not just confined to a guarantee against taking away of an individual's life, but has wider application. This is not only against taking a person into custody without a real reason, but more meanings are there for this right to liberty. Okay, so various judgments of Supreme Court have expanded the scope of this right. The Supreme Court has ruled that this right also includes the right to live with human dignity, a right to personal freedom. Okay, that helpful for a person to lead a dignified life in the society, free from exploitation. Okay, so this right will helpful for a person to lead a life without exploitation. Okay, the court has held that right to shelter and livelihood is also included in the right to life, because no person can live without the means of living, that is the means of livelihood. Okay, so it is the responsibility of the government to provide the shelter, livelihood. Okay, that also included the right of life. Clear? Shelter and livelihood also included the right of life, because no person can live without the means of living, that is the means of livelihood. So there are different programs are there by the government to provide a livelihood for the people or shelter for the people. Clear? Okay. The next one we discussing about. So we know that detention. Okay, arbitrary arrest. So we are able to act against that. Okay, so the right is protected by the Constitution. What is that? Right to individual liberty. But some cases that is possible. It is basically termed as preventive detention. Clear or not? One person is proved that he is for example, I can say, okay, it's an imaginary concept. Okay, in real life also we observe that kind of cases there. Basically termed the serial killers, right? Right or not? Okay, so it's basically termed as preventive detention. Okay, so one person is proved that he or she is able to harm the people in the society, the police department can do that. Clear? Can keep that person into custody. Clear? It is basically they will use the term, not we will, they will use the term, or even we will also use the same term. It's called the preventive detention. Preventive detention to or not to create any problem in the society. Some people they will create problem in society, so the police department have all powers to arrest them and keep in a detention. Okay, but only with the rule of the court only. Ordinarily, a person would be arrested after he or she has reportedly committed some offense. Some people, so we know that Gunda Act, you know, what is that? What is that? So some people are there, basically termed as the antisocial elements. Antisocial elements in the society. These people continuously will create problems. Clear or not? So in the festive times, example, now it is the season for that, right? Festivals in churches and temples. Okay, so these people will create a problem in their local festivals there. So as a protection to others in the society, the police will arrest them and will keep in the lockup. Keep in the lockup. It's basically termed as preventive detention, because if you are leaving them freely into the society, definitely they will keep or they will create a problem there. So the police department for the security of others will keep such kind of people in the prison there. Right? Clear or not? Basically termed as the preventive detention. Preventive detention. So not for a person simply, but the person those who have a very bad track record related with this particular issue, creating problem for others. However, there are exceptions to this. Sometimes a person can be arrested simply out of an apprehension that he or she is likely to engage in unlawful activity and imprisoned for some time without following the above mentioned procedure. Okay, but sometimes something will happen like this also. Okay, for just in fishy situations. Okay, so some particular situations, the police department will arrest someone without any reason. Okay, basically related with what can you say? Just an apprehension, just a thought that he or she is likely to engage a unlawful activity. Okay, without any clear-cut evidences. Sometimes the police department will keep them in custody also. That is not good. This is known as a preventive detention. It means that it is the government feels that. So that is basically termed as the preventive detention. Preventive detention there. This is known as the preventive detention. Underline that. And this is the answer for one question. Describe what is preventive detention. This is known as preventive detention. It means that if the government feels that a person can be a threat to law and order, underline that. If a person or the government feels that a person can be a threat to law and order or to the peace and security of the nation or the society, okay, the government can detain or arrest the person. Okay, the government can detain or arrest that person. This preventive detention can be extended only for 3 months. So the government or the police department have the right to keep the person under this particular situation called the preventive detention maximum for 3 months, not more than that. After 3 months, such a case is brought before an advisory board for review. So want to present him or her in front of the court. I mean an advisory board to find out want to keep that person in jail or want to leave them free. Okay, on the face of it, preventive detention looks like an effective tool in the hands of the government to deal with antisocial elements or subversaries. Okay, so government always using this method, this preventive detention, to protect the society from the antisocial elements or the group of people they are able to create a problem for the society. But this provision has often been misused by the government. So sometimes the government can misuse this right. I mean this particular rule. So in the time of national movement, we studied about a infamous act by the British government is basically termed as the Rowlatt Act. You know that, right? So as per the Rowlatt Act, the British government have the power to arrest and keep any political worker in India and keep them in the jail without any fair trial at least for 2 years, right? So what the British government did with that particular rule, they arrested almost all the famous political leaders, okay, and kept them in jail. Okay, so any government can do that. So If a BJP is ruling, they can arrest Congress party leaders or Communist party leaders. If Communist party is ruling, the Communist party can arrest Congress party leaders or BJP party leaders. If Congress party is ruling, they can arrest the BJP leaders or the Communist party leaders. We can see that, right or not? Number of times we observe this kind of gimmicks, right? In the newspaper. That is famous. Tamil Nadu is famous for that. There are two political parties are there. One is DMK and other one is AIADMK. Okay. Dravida Muneta Kazhagam, All India Anna Dravida Muneta Kazhagam. Two groups, two political parties are there. If one group came into power, definitely they will start hunting the other political party. Start hunting them. Clear or not? Arresting them, using the intelligence, using the, what we can say, vigilance, number of other organization under the control of the government to arrest them and keep them in jail. Okay, like that activity. Next time, this party will fail, the opposition party will come into power. They also use the same technique. Clear or not? So, rivalry. Okay, hard rivalry we are able to find in Tamil Nadu politics between these two political parties. Number of other parties also are there, but these two political parties are powerful there. Okay, DMK and AIADMK. Clear? Maybe heard about the Jayalalitha, right? Jayalalitha. Heard or not? No, no information. Okay, he passed away before 5 years, I think so, in the month of December. Okay, let it. Okay, now come back. On the face of it, preventive detention look like an effective tool in the hands of the government to deal with antisocial elements or subversives, but these provisions has often been misused by the government. Many people think that there must be greater safeguards in this law so that it may not be misused against people for reasons other than that which are really justified. So, people says that, or political leaders say that, we want to protection from this law. Okay, what is that? Preventive detention. Sometimes governments are misusing this. Clear? Rather than the real reason, the governments are misusing to arrest their political rivals. In fact, there is a clear tension between a right to life and personal liberty and the provision of preventive detention. Okay, clear tension means a clear problem we are able to find between the right to life, the personal liberty, and the provision of preventive detention. Contradictory meanings are there. Right? Okay, just to keep this idea in your mind. So, understand what is this preventive detention. Next one, other freedoms rather than liberty and equality. Next one, you can see that under the right of freedom, there are some other rights as well. These rights, however, are not absolute. Okay, each of these is subject to restrictions imposed by the government. For example, right to freedom of speech and expression is subject to restrictions such as public order, peace and morality, etc. Some rights are there. Okay, number of rights are there under right to freedom, but all these rights we are able to enjoy only with restrictions. Example, freedom of speech and expression, we already discussed that, don't want to repeat it again. Freedom of assembly too is to be exercised peacefully and without arms. Without arms in the sense, without hands. What is the meaning of the term without arms? What do you mean by the term arms?
Police or military.
ARMS, arms. See here. So, for example, right to freedom of speech and expression is subject to restrictions such as public order, peace and morality, etc. So, we have the right to speak or express, but without creating a problem for the social order, peace and morality of the society. No hate speeches. No speeches against any community. No speeches against to harass other persons in the society. So, that's it. Next one, freedom to assemble. We can assemble, form organizations, we can perform rallies, gather on the roads. Okay, assemble too is to be exercised peacefully and without arms. What is that arms here? We can gather without arms. We can arrange a rally or a procession without arms. Arms means weapons here. What is that? Weapons, arms and ammunitions, weapons. Clear? So we can gather, we can protest, but without any weapons. Without any weapons. The government may impose restrictions in certain areas, declaring the assembly of 5 or more persons as unlawful. It's called to be the situation called emergency. Okay, so government will declare, what is that? More than 5 people staying together or gathered together, it is considering as unlawful at the time of corona outbreak. Okay, peak time of corona outbreak, we listen this one, what that? A state of emergency is declared in different part of the state. Okay, more than 5 people is gathering together, it is considering as unlawful, and the police department have the power to arrest them and keep in jail. Right or not? Head or not? No. No. Yes. Okay, so that's it. That time it is against the law. Okay, for declaring emergency. That time, if you are mobilizing or gathering, it is considering as against law. The genuine protest against an act or policy of government by the people may be denied permission. However, if the people are aware and vigilant in the regard to their rights and choose the protest against such acts of administration, such misuse becomes rare. In the Constitutional Assembly itself, some members had expressed their dissatisfaction about the restrictions on rights there. So, sometimes the people will react badly against the government. That time, government can use its power to declare emergency to stop the movement of the people against the government or mobilization of people against the government. Okay, but so far no governments use that. So we know that still the farmers strike in New Delhi already crossed the 30 days, already crossed the 1 month. Okay, but the government is not declared emergency, because in democracy it's the right of the people to criticize the government, right? Yes or no? We can criticize. Okay, clear or not? So in the Constituent Assembly at the time of the preparation of the Indian Constitution, number of members, they rejected or they expressed their dissatisfaction against the restrictions on rights. Restrictions on rights like preventive detention or this emergency, declaration of emergency. Okay, clear. Next one. So just underline that, understand and read it. Rights of accused. Who is an accused? Accuse.
Person who was found guilty.
Of course, a person who found guilty. Okay, that time related with the FIR, first information report, the police department will arrest one person or group of people. Okay, in prima facie, in the first observation, find that people committed a crime or a trouble there or created a trouble there. So the police department can arrest them. Okay, clear. But that accused also have some rights. Clear. What are those rights? Our constitution ensures that person accused of various offences would also get sufficient protection. So accused people also want to get sufficient protection. We often tend to believe that anyone who is charged with some offence is guilty. However, no one is guilty unless the court has found that person guilty of an offence. So, police department can arrest, but they are unable to give the judgment or the verdict that the person is the real culprit, the real person who committed the crime. The police department cannot say that. Only the judge or the court can do it. Clear? So, up to that, he is considering as a person arrested and he is accused for the charge. Clear or not? But not declared he is the real culprit. It is also necessary that a person accused of any crime should get an adequate opportunity to defend himself or herself. So, defense. To ensure a fair trial in courts, the Constitution has provided 3 rights for the accused. 3 rights for the accused. So, here, no person would be punished for the same offence more than once. Clear or not? So, number of movies you are able to observe this one, right? One person is punished for a murder. Finally, the person will release from the jail. Okay, and he will try to find out the person who died. Okay, and finally, in the end of the movie climax, he will find him and he will kill that person in the courtroom. And he will say that I already went into jail because of killing this person. Okay, now really I killed him. The court can't punish, it seems. Yes, of course, correct it is. Okay, a person cannot be punished for the same offence more than once. One time only. Clear or not? For the same crime, only one time we are able to give the punishment for the person. Clear? That's the right of an accused. Right of an accused. Next one. No law shall declare any action as illegal from backdate. From backdate. Okay. So remember, before 40 years, it is legal. What is that? What is legal there? What is legal there? Number of activities today we considering as illegal. Those things are legal. Clear or not? So before independence, it is legal. Child marriage, right? Clear or not? So we cannot arrest Mahatma Gandhi now. What is that? Child marriage is a crime now, right? Right or not? Right or not? But those days when Mahatma Gandhi married, that time there is no such rules existed. So we cannot arrest Mahatma Gandhi or his children because of this particular crime. So now it is a crime, but at that date, it is not at all. It is not at all. Understanding or not? Clear or not? That's what. So no law shall declare any action as illegal from backdate. Impossible to do that. Clear? Understand? Next one. No person shall be asked to give. So now we know that the marriage or marrying age for girls, that is going to increase to, an idea? Increase to?
21.
21. What is the present age for marriage for girls? It is 18, right? Okay, now it is legal. Marriage in the age of 18 for girls and 21 for boys, it is legal now. But when this law is coming to exist, or the government made this as a rule, we cannot arrest anyone, those who married at the age of 18, because it is a backdated one, right? Clear or not? So just understand. So that also a right for the accused. Next one, no person shall be asked to give evidence against himself or herself. No person should ask for give evidence against himself or herself, because the police department will ask them to do so, right? Accept your crime, accept what you committed, give the evidences to us, right or not? But there is a right is there for the accused. What is that? A person shall not be asked to give evidences against himself or herself. Want to find out, clear or not? Should not ask for the culprit to give the evidences. Should not use the third degree treatment. You know what is the third degree treatment? Third degree physical harassment in the police stations. Basically, okay, punishing them. Any of your parents are working in police department? No, no one. Okay, so if it is so, you can ask and understand what is third degree treatment. Clear or not? Okay, punishment will be there. They will harass, physical punishment will be there. But actually it is not right. It is not good. It is against the law. Against the law. Police department role don't have the right to punish the accused. Punish the accused. Understand that. Okay. Okay, I hope all these ideas are clear. Right? Clear or not? So easy to understand the things here. So check your progress. Complete for tomorrow. Next topic, it is right against exploitation. Right against exploitation. So what you can see in the picture, and what fundamental right is violated here? Come on, check it. That picture. What is going on there? Tell me.
Right against exploitation.
Pardon, Aishwarya?
Right against
What the kid is doing there?
doing some. Yeah.
Doing some. What is that I am asking? You
So
are unable to identify from that picture.
not clear.
Not clear. Picture is not clear. So I will enlarge it. Yo, what about now? Check it. So bigger than your textbook. Now tell me. This activity is basically termed as BD making. Okay. BD making. Smoking is injurious. Clear? So BD making. So utilizing that kit, okay, and to do that activity. So it is a type of exploitation, right? And child labor too. Next one, he is not going to school, right? He is working. He's going to school or not going to school, we are unable to understand from the picture there. Anyway, he's doing some work, the child labor. Okay, understand? Clear? So, that's it. His fundamental right is violated. Okay, let it. Next one, in our country, there are millions of people, or we can say it is exploitation, right? Clear? Exploitation, child labor, exploitation. Okay, so in our country, there are millions of people who are underprivileged and deprived. Millions of people are there, underprivileged and deprived people. They may be subjected to exploitation by their fellow human beings. So, who will exploit the other human being? One human being only can do that. Animals cannot do that, right or not? Only one human being or group of human beings can violate the rights of other people, clear, or exploit the other persons. They may be subjected to exploitation by other fellow human beings. One such a form of exploitation in our country has been, it is termed as beggar system. Beggar. Remember, it is not beggar, beggar. Bounded labor. Bounded labor. Beggar. A kind of slavery. Okay, bounded labor or forced labor without perfect payment. Clear? Without perfect payment. One more time we will use this for this one. It's called to be vetti system. Vetti or a beggar system. Vetti or a beggar system. Forced labor. Forced labor. Okay. Another closely related form of exploitation is buying and selling of human beings. I told already, right? Buying and selling of human being. Okay, anyway, human beings are not for sale, right? Clear or not? But in the North Indian states, because of, I can say that poverty, okay, unemployment, illiteracy, the people are forced to, or parents are forced to sell their kids. Some people are there to purchase them also. So, day before yesterday, news. Okay, guys, sorry, I will say that. News, it was a person from Kerala. He was arrested in Hyderabad trying to marry a girl child of age 16. Clear or not? Okay. Actually, it is not a marriage. He tried to purchase that girl by paying 2.5 lakh rupees. Clear? Either exploitation? Tell me, utilizing the situation, right? Circumstances. Clear or not? Just understand that. Purchasing is going on. Okay, that is a condition or situation that existing in our country also. Okay, selling of human beings. Another close related form of exploitation is buying and selling of human beings and using them as slaves. Okay, using them as slaves. Slaves means a bounded labor. Don't want to give any payment, right? Okay, in a colonial period, there was slave markets are there. Slave markets were there. Do you know what is slave markets? We can go there, we can purchase slaves for doing work at home or the field. Clear? Basically in Arabia, America, Africa, India. Okay, these countries are basically engaged in this slave trade. Okay, so both of these are prohibited under the constitution. So using or exploitation or purchasing, trafficking, all are abolished or prohibited by the constitution. Forced labor was imposed by landlords once. Forced labor, the beggar system. Landlords imposed the system because they wanted to cultivate in their own land, but they are not ready to pay wages for their workers. So they use this technique, forced labor. Moneylenders and other wealthy persons in the past, some form of bonded labor still continues in the country, especially in bricklin work. Bricklin. Okay, so what is bricklin? What will say? Bricklin, what is that? Big manufacturing units are there. Brick manufacturing units. There, number of people are working. We are able to find families working there. Father, mother, kids, everyone will be there in the bricklin because the parents borrowed money from the owner of the bricklin as to repay that loan. The entire family will work in the bricklin. It's a type of exploitation. Clear or not? They are unable to pay the debt back to the owner because he will charge a huge rate of interest. Clear? It's a money lender. So huge rate of interest and they are unable to pay back and their life will finish in that brickling itself. Clear? Number of newses. It has now been declared a crime and it is punishable. So utilizing anyone as a slave or beggar, it is a punishable offense now. It's a punishable offense. The Constitution also forbids employment of children below the age of 14 years in dangerous jobs like factories and mines. Morning we discussed that, right? Just reading it. With child labor being made illegal and the right to education becoming a fundamental right for the children. This right against exploitation has become more meaningful. Okay, so right against exploitation is too important, and people want to use that against the veti system or the beggar system, human trafficking, okay, child labor, or what we can say, using the kids in dangerous or hazardous jobs. Clear? Next topic, right to freedom of religion. Freedom of religion. According to our constitution, everyone enjoys the rights to follow the religion of his or her choice. This freedom is considered as a hallmark of democracy. Historically, there were rulers and emperors in different parts of the world who did not allow residents of their countries to enjoy the right to freedom of religion. Persons following a religion different from that of the ruler were either prosecuted or forced to convert to the official religion of the rulers. Therefore, democracy has always incorporated the freedom to follow the religion of one's choice as one of its basic principles. Clear? In almost all the countries we observed that. Okay, they basically like to practice a single religion, basically the monarchs and emperors. Okay, a single religion. Okay, as a result of that, they will prosecute the people, those who are preaching the other religions. But India is an exemption. Clear or not? Number of different religious people, they reached India. They came to India. Clear? The Portuguese people, the Dutch people, the French people, okay, the English people, the Arabs, the Chinese people, okay. But we accepted all these different types of people, their culture and their religion. So Christianity, the origin of Christianity in Kerala, we are observing, so we are able to find that the arrival of Thomas Leha, most of the Christians, they know that. Thomas Leha and his activity in the state of Kerala to create a Christian community in Kerala. Okay, the Chairman Masjid, okay, celebrating at the first mosque in India, that's near to Kodungalur. Clear? Not near to Kodungalur, in Kodungalur. Okay, the Chairman Juma Masjid. And the synagogue of Mala synagogue, the Jewish people synagogue, the Jewish synagogue. In Cochin also, Jewish synagogue is there. Okay, so we are welcome, or we are ready to accept and adjust with the different religions and their culture. Clear or not? Still today we are using the China Wala, the Chinese fishing net. Okay, we adopted that idea. China Chatti, I mean the Chinese frying pan. Clear or not? We are using in our kitchen, right? We are able to adopt it. So religions also like that only. Okay, so basically all the other religions in India, basically they originated from the same culture. Clear? Or same ethnicity, later because of various reasons converted to other religions. Clear or not? Because of the different activities of different countries, basically relationship with other countries, basically the trade and the commercial relationships that created different religions in our country. So at the time of the Mughals, the Mughal empires, right? The Mughal emperors, they also accepted almost all the religions in India. Clear or not? At the same time, Akbar the Great, Akbar, okay, he himself created one religion. You know what is the name of that religion? Okay, for example, Din Ilahi, that's what the name of that religion by Akbar. Okay, so so India is an example for a religious harmony. Okay, next one, freedom of faith and worship. So we can believe in any God. The same time we have the right to not to believe in any God also. Worship method, different worship methods we can choose, but under the framework of the constitution. The state is able to interfere in the religious activity in India, right or not? But the religion should not interfere in the state activities, the activities of the government. Is that clear or not? Okay, so in India, everyone is free to choose a religion and to practice that religion. We are free to choose the religion and to practice the same. Freedom of religion also includes the freedom of, conscience. Clear or not? As per our attitude, we can believe in any religion. Okay, this means that a person may choose any religion or may choose not to follow any religion. Underline that. So we have the right to follow any religion or not to follow also. Not to follow. Okay. So you know that a person who is not believing in a religion is called as an atheist. Correct, Aishwarya? An atheist. Okay. Clear. Freedom of religion includes the freedom of profess, teach it, follow it, propagate, spread it. Clear. Freedom of religion is subject to certain limitations, but some limitations also are there for the freedom of religion. What are they? The government can impose restrictions on practice of freedom of religion in order to protect public order. Public order, right? Want to protect the society also. Morality and health of the people. Morality and health. Still today we know that special religions or subsects of the religion not believing in science or medical treatments. They say that praising the Lord or praising the God will cure all diseases. What is your answer? Praising the Lord, He will cure all the diseases. That's what the attitude. Okay, that's what their religious faith. We don't know. Okay, so as per Bible, one slogan is there. What is that? Your faith will help you, right or not? Right or not? Yes or no? Who is Christian here? Amal Kesaji, Amal is not. Elvina, is that correct? Faith and belief always protect, right?
Yes, sir.
Tell me that, what is the correct one?
Yeah.
Aha, best. Okay. There's a book called Bible. So Elvina is not that sure about that. Okay. No, sorry, Elvina. It's okay, fine. Okay. So that's it. Okay. Our belief, our faith will protect it. So they are simply believing in the God Almighty. They are against the science and use of scientific medicines there. Okay. So related with this COVID-19 vaccine, Covishield and Pfizer vaccine, we had a number of newses there. Okay. Muslim community, they gathered and they passed a memorandum. What is that, This Pfizer vaccine or COVID vaccines contain the fat of pig fat. Clear or not? So as per the religious concept of Muslims, the pig is against the religion or haram. Okay, so they cannot take the vaccine, it seems. They will not take the vaccine, it seems. Okay, that's from India. The same day in Saudi Arabia, they decided they will use the vaccine. They will use the vaccine, the same vaccine. So want to understand that the two different stand of the people from the same religion, Okay, let it. So it is not for controversy. I just told the news from the newspaper. It's not created by me. Clear? So it's a news from the newspaper only. Okay, so if the people are doing so, it is against the government, right or not? So example, that community is not taking the COVID vaccine, all our work in vain, right or not? Others taking vaccination also, that is not effective, clear or not? Or a communicable disease is there, one group of people, they are not taking medicine for that, what will happen? It will spread everywhere. So it is against the society. So forcefully the government will make them to take it. Clear? That's it. Or against the morality. Okay, some things are not good for the society, definitely the government will interfere in that. Okay, so we know that in all the religions there was a thing existed in time immemorial onwards called a sacrifice. What is the sacrifice? Slaughtering of animals. Even in Christianity, Islamism, Hinduism, all these things are existed, sacrifices, including the human sacrifice. Clear? History says that. It's not me saying so. History says that. Okay, proofs are there. Human sacrifices. So, but today human sacrifices are not possible. Government is banned it, right or not? It's banned. Okay, if anyone doing so, it's a criminal offense. Criminal offense. Before 2 months, we read a news that in Uttar Pradesh there was a murder. Okay, for this kind of superstitious beliefs there. Okay, next one. This means that the freedom of religion is not an unlimited right. The government can interfere in the religious matters of rooting out certain social evils. For example, in the past, the government has taken steps banning practice of sati, okay, bigamy, or human sacrifice. Clear or not? So now all these things are stopped. Such restrictions cannot be opposed in the name of interference in right to freedom of religion. So government will ban such kind of things. That time we cannot say that it's the right of the people or right of the religion is a fundamental right. The government should not interfere in that. Clear? Clear. The government will not allow such kind of activities anymore, or anyway they will restrict it. The limitation on the right of freedom of religion always produce tensions between followers of various religions and the government. When the government seeks to restrict some activities of any religious group, people of the religion feel that this is interference in their religion. So this kind of government interference that can be create some problem in the society also. So government says to stop some activities, the believers of the religion will think that the government is against them. So it will lead to a problem. Freedom of religion became a matter of political controversy of yet another reason. The constitution has guaranteed the right to propagate one's religion. So constitution giving chance to all the religions to propagate their religion. Propagation. Okay, clear on propagate their religion. This include persuading, forcing the people to convert from one religion to another. Some religions are there. They will offer money, they will offer positions and ask the people to change their religion, convert their religion, religious conversion. However, some people resent conversions on the ground of these are based on the intimidation of inducement. The constitution does not allow forcible conversions. It only gives us the right to spread information about our religion and thus attract others to it. Is that clear? The constitution allowing or giving us a right to spread the religion, propagate religion, but not forcefully, Clear? So I know you people are understand the things properly. Anyway, so I'm stopping, winding up now. Clear or not? So we will start with the next class tomorrow. Equality of all religions. Okay. So I'm stopping here. So everyone, if it is possible, just read that. I know that continuous periods are there. Almost all people are tired. Okay. So just take a rest for some time. Okay, 5 minutes, and start reading the textbook. Okay. Okay, guys. Elvina is surprised. 5 minutes, just 5 minutes. Okay. Anyway, thank you everyone. So complete the homeworks from economics and read the textbook properly. Understand the things there. We will meet in the next class. Thank you everyone. Thank you very much.